Alright, today I'm going to be talking about the best way to EV train in Pokemon Sword and Shield. And if you know what these items are on the screen right here, these are vitamins. So vitamins are the easiest way to EV train on Pokemon Sword and Shield. So the way it works is one vitamin equals 10 EVs. And if you watched the IV-EV video, you know that your EVs max out at 252. So what that means is if I give my Pokemon 26 vitamins, that'll max out its EVs for that stat. So in previous games, they used to only let you use up to 10 vitamins, so you could only get your EVs up to 100, and then you'd have to use a different method to get up to 252 or whatever you wanted it to get to. But now they changed that in Sword and Shield, so that you can just give that Pokemon 26 of these vitamins, and that stat is maxed out. So if you wanted to do the common 252, 252, and then 4 on one of your last stats, you would just give 26 vitamins to 2 of your stats. That would max out its EVs, and then just 1 vitamin to the last stat, and now your Pokemon is fully EV trained. So it's super fast and super easy. The different vitamins I have listed on the right side here. So there's calcium, carbos, HP up, iron, protein, and zinc. And then you can see what EVs each one of those gives. So calcium, special attack, carbo, speed, HP up is hit points, iron is defense, protein, attack, and zinc is special defense. So this makes it super easy to EV train your Pokemon. Now, if I want to do a more specific EV spread, let's say I didn't want to give my Pokemon 252 EVs, or I didn't want to give it something that's a multiple of 10, then I could just give my Pokemon vitamins and then knock out Pokemon after that. So for example, let's say I wanted 88 EVs and hit points. What I could do is I could give my Pokemon 8 HP up, so that's 10 per HP up, so 8 times 10 is 80. And then for those last 8 EVs, I could just knock out 8 Pokemon that give hit point EVs. So an example here is Squovit. On the right side here, I listed some easy to find Pokemon that give out 1 EV for each specific stat. So Ghastly gives off 1 EV for special attack. Rookidee gives off 1 EV for speed. Squovit gives you 1 for hit points. Rollycola 1 for defense. Choodle 1 for attack. And Duskull gives you 1 for special defense. These are Pokemon that are really common in Pokemon Sword and Shield and easy to find. That's why I picked these specific 6 Pokemon. But obviously every Pokemon gives you certain EVs when you knock it out. So say I wanted to find something other than these 6 Pokemon, you can do that on Pokemon Database. So this is just the EV page on Pokemon Database. I will leave a link for this in the description. So what you can do here is this shows every Pokemon and the EVs that they give when you knock it out. So Bulbasaur gives you 1 special attack EV when you knock it out. Venusaur gives you 2 special attack and 1 special defense. So you could go through this list and look at every single Pokemon. You also can just type in a Pokemon's name up here. So say you're in an area and there's a ton of one specific Pokemon, you want to know what EVs that Pokemon gives, you can just type in their name. So for example, I know when you get in the wild area, there's a lot of Tyrogue. So I could type in Tyrogue and see that it gives me 1 attack EV. So that's one way you can use this is to type in a Pokemon's name and see what EVs it gives. You also, on the side over here, can just click on the EV that you're looking for and you'll be able to see every Pokemon that gives that EV when you knock it out. So if I click on hit points here, Jigglypuff is all over the place on the Isle of Armor. So right when you get into the Isle of Armor by the train station, there are Jigglypuffs pretty common right there. And Jigglypuff gives you 2 EVs and hit points. So Jigglypuff is an easy one to use for training in hit points. If you specifically want something that gives 1 EV in hit points, there's also Galarian Slowpokes right there on the beach, so you could just get 1 EV if you wanted to knock out a Galarian Slowpoke. So obviously you can go through the rest of these and look at the different Pokemon and find ones that you know exactly where they are and that are easy for you to find and knock out. Alright, so where do you get these vitamins? The first location where you can find these vitamins is in Wyndon at the Pokemon Center. And I'm talking about the Pokemon Center right when you walk in the center of the city, not the one by the gym. So in that Pokemon Center, this is one place that you could find these EVs and buy them for $10,000. Now that's pretty expensive. We just talked about how you need 26 just to max out one stat, 26 to max out another stat. That's 72 total, plus one more for that last stat. So that's 73 total vitamins that you would need for one Pokemon. That's a lot of money, right? So I want to try to find a better place or a cheaper place to get these vitamins. Another location was in Hammerlock Pokemon Center. And again, this is the Pokemon Center right when you enter Hammerlock. It's right to the left when you walk in. You go in that Pokemon Center, and there's this person on the right hand side. You talk to this person, and you can buy vitamins for battle points. So it's 2 battle points per vitamin. Battle points are not easy to come by, and that's rather expensive, so you don't want to be wasting your battle points on these vitamins. So the best way to get these vitamins for the cheapest price is on the Isle of Armor. So the Isle of Armor made it a lot easier to get these vitamins and to EV train your Pokemon. So in the Isle of Armor dojo, you are able to get these vending machines in the back right corner, and these vending machines will have vitamins. And you can see if you buy one, it's that same price as the Wyndon Pokemon Center. But the more you buy, if you buy them in bulk, you get a better price. So 5 for $40,000, that's 8,000 per vitamin. 10 for 70,000, that's 7,000 per vitamin. Or the best deal, if you buy 25, it's for 125,000, which is just 5,000 per vitamin. So if you buy them 25 at a time, then you are getting them for half off what they originally were at the Wyndon Pokemon Center. So this made it a lot easier to get the vitamins that you needed for a cheaper price so that you're able to get more of these vitamins for your money. Now, the problem is when you first get to the Isle of Armor, these vending machines are not in the dojo. So there's some things you need to do first in order to unlock these vending machines in the back of the dojo. So the first thing you have to do is you have to finish the Isle of Armor story. Once that's done, then you are able to donate watts to Honey. She asks you to donate watts to the dojo so that she can upgrade the dojo. It's going to take a total of 400,000 watts to get to the point where you have the vending machines and you have all the vitamins in them. So I'm going to quickly go over all of the upgrades that you get as you donate watts to Honey. So the first 5,000 that you donate, you get a hairdresser, which lets you change your looks at the dojo. The next 5,000, she's going to put in this Rotom machine that you can see in this picture, but it doesn't work yet. So the next 10,000 activate the Rotom machine. Then the next 30,000 puts the vending machine back here, but it's only water. Another 10,000 gets you soda. Another 10,000 after that gets you lemonade. After that, you donate 50,000 to get cooking ingredients for the kitchen. So what that does is you're able to go to the kitchen, go in the refrigerator, and get some new ingredient each day. I believe you just use that for curry. After that, you finally are able to get the vitamins. So the next 100,000 that you donate will be protein and iron in the vending machine. Then the next 100,000 will put calcium and zinc in the vending machine. And then another 100,000 after that puts carbos and HP up in the vending machine. Then you finally have the vending machines fully stocked, and that is a total, like I said, of 400,000 watts. So at that point, now you are able to go buy those vitamins for half price as long as you buy 25 at a time. So the next question is, how do I get 400,000 watts, and how do I get enough money to buy all these vitamins? That's what I'm going to go over next. So there's a few different ways to get watts in the game. The most obvious way, as I'm sure you guys know, is getting watts by clicking on the raid dens. So when you click on a raid den, you get a certain amount of watts. You also get watts for catching or knocking out brilliant Pokemon. Those are the ones that have like a hazy thing over the top of them. If you catch them or knock them out, you'll get a few watts. The best way to get watts is by using the digging paw. So he is located next to the warm-up tunnel, which is in the training lowlands on the Isle of Armor. So it's up here at the top. Right here is the mouth of the tunnel, the warm-up tunnel, and he is right to the right of that, which you can see in this picture down here. Digging paw is by far the best way to get watts in this game. So the way digging paw works is he digs up watts for 7 armorite ore. You give him 7 armorite ore, he's just going to start digging, and he's going to collect watts for you. Now the amount of watts that you get is random, and I think I've had it as low as like 18,000 watts. The average is usually somewhere between mid 20,000 to 30,000 watts. But there's certain times where he'll say he's got an extra wind or something like that, and he'll just start digging like crazy. And that's when you end up getting something like this that you see in the picture here, where he digs up 300,000 watts. I would say this happens 1 out of every 10 or 15 times that you talk to Digging Paw. He'll just go on one of these crazy runs where he just digs up an insane amount of watts. The highest that I've seen him dig up is over 500,000. So you could get all of the watts that you need just out of one time talking to the Digging Paw. You'd have to get really lucky for that to happen, but it is possible with the Digging Paw. So he's going to give you the best chance to get the most watts. So obviously you're going to need armorite ore and able to use the Digging Paw. The best way to get armorite ore, in my opinion, is just to do raids at the Isle of Armor. One place that I like to do raids is up here in the top left corner, the Honeycomb Islands. On this island, there are Combees and Vespiquen, or Vespiqueen, however you say its name. And pretty much every raid you do, it's going to be one of those two, and it almost always gives you rare candies. So it's going to give you experience candy and rare candy, which is super helpful when you are trying to get Pokemon to level 100 for hyper training. So that's why I like to go to that island for raids. So I'll just do a bunch of raids there. That'll get me a lot of Armorite ore, and then I can use that Armorite ore to get more watts from the Digging Paw. Another way to get Armorite ore is from digging Ma, but I don't like using that method because to me it's inconsistent. And if you try to press your luck with her, her shovel can break and then you end up getting nothing. But if you're interested in that, I'm going to post a link to a video that explains how to do that method. But in my opinion, it's easier just to do raid battles on the Isle of Armor, and that's the way I like to get Armorite ore. So if you are interested in using the Digging Ma, again, I'm going to post a link for this video in the description. This wasn't made by me, it's made by somebody else, but it goes through and explains how that works and all the different locations where you can find her. So in my opinion, this is the best way to get watts. So once you have all those watts, now you're able to go bring those to Honey, and you're able to upgrade the dojo to get the vitamin vending machines and all the vitamins in the vending machines. So the last thing you need is you need a lot of money in order to buy all these vitamins. So I've got a great way that you can get a lot of money in this game, and it's by using the Digging Duo. So if you go to the Digging Duo, I'm sure you ran across these guys as you were playing through the game. They are in the wild area by the nursery. Right out here, I believe this is in Bridgefield. Yes, it is. So in Bridgefield, there's a nursery there. So you can see the nursery in the background here, and then there's this Digging Duo on the right side. The one that you want is the one on the left. He's the skill one, so he says he's the more skilled of the two. That's the one that you want to go to. The reason you want to go to him is because he can dig up the more expensive stuff and the more helpful stuff. So he'll dig up stuff like bottle caps. So you're going to want to keep the bottle caps that he digs up, but the other items that he digs up, you can sell those for a ton of money, which will essentially give you unlimited money. So the way the Digging Duo works, if you haven't used them before, is they dig for items in exchange for 500 watts. So again, we just talked about how to get a ton of watts by using the Digging Paw. Once you have the dojo completely upgraded, you can go back and get more watts from the Digging Paw, and now you can use those watts on the Digging Duo. And again, you want the brother on the left. Now the issue is this takes forever. You have to sit here and just hit A on your controller as he digs, and he digs up items, and it takes forever to sit there and just press A. So it's incredibly boring. So I want to know, how could I do this easier? Is there a way to just get the game to press A for me? And the great news is that there is. What you need is you need this thing right here. It is called the switch up. It can be used to auto click A so that you don't have to sit there and manually press A on the digging brother for hours on end. So the way I do this is when I go to sleep at night, I just set up this switch up on the digging brother on the left. I just let it run all night long. I come back in the morning and I just have tons of bottle caps that I can use to hyper train my Pokemon. And then I have all these other items that I can sell for quite a bit of money. And like I just said, essentially give me unlimited money. The other thing is this switch up has a lot of other cool features. So let's go check out the website for this switch up. So I'll put a link for this page in the description as well. You can buy a switch up just by clicking right here, buy switch up, and it only costs $25. You can pick out the color you want. For 25 bucks, it makes your life a lot easier. So this can be used for different games, but we're talking Pokemon right now, so let's learn more about Pokemon Sword and Shield. So this is the one I'm talking about right here, the auto confirm, and you can see their example right here is being used on the digging duo. That's what I use it for. It's awesome. You can just, like I said, let it run all night and it'll collect items for you. It's awesome. But it also does things like shiny hunting, it does easy cycling, it does max rate den watt generating, so you could also use this for getting more watts. The way that it gets shinies, I guess there's a couple different ways, but one of the ways is just it'll hatch eggs for you over and over and over. So you could run this all night long too. And when you wake up in the morning, you could check all the Pokemon that you hatched and see if you got a shiny Pokemon from hatching eggs. So this switch up does a lot of cool things. I obviously highly recommend getting it. It's just $25. Again, I will put a link for this page in the description, so you can just go to the description of this video to get a link to this page. Alright, so that's pretty much everything that you need to know for EV training your Pokemon. Last thing I'm going to talk about here is how can you reset the EVs on a Pokemon. So let's say that I played the game through with a certain team and they're really high level Pokemon. I want to use those Pokemon for competitive play, but they have really crazy EVs because I just played through the game with them and I wasn't EV training them. There's a nice and easy way to reset the EVs. Again, on the Isle of Armor, I said earlier, Isle of Armor made EV training a lot easier. This is another nice thing that the Isle of Armor did for EV training. So if you have a Pokemon where you just want to completely reset its EVs, all you have to do is go to this little island down here. There's just this girl, she's just hanging out on this island by herself. You talk to her, all you have to do is give her 10 pieces of Armorite ore and she will completely reset the EVs for one of your Pokemon. Now let's say that you don't want to completely reset the EVs, you just made one little mistake and you just want to fix that little mistake that you made. You also can use berries to fix your EVs, and these will just lower your EVs 10 at a time. So they're like the opposite of vitamins. So instead of adding 10 EVs, they lower your EVs by 10. And the other thing that they do is they increase happiness. So they'll make your Pokemon happy as well. The berries that do this are listed on the right hand side here. So there's Hondu Berry, which lowers special attack by 10 EVs. Tomato Berry lowers speed by 10 EVs. Pomeg lowers hit points. Qualot Berry lowers defense. Kelpsie Berry lowers attack. And Greppa Berry lowers special defense. Alright, so that's pretty much everything you need to know to EV train your Pokemon team on Pokemon Sword and Shield. There are other ways to EV train your Pokemon, but in my opinion, this is the best way. If you're looking for other options, you can just Google, different ways to EV train. But to me, this is by far the easiest way to do it. I would recommend getting a switch up and just following the steps that I listed here in this video, and it makes it super easy to EV train your Pokemon.